Hi everyone. So, welcome back to Rebirth a Gift. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday, TGIF, because I am. So, oh wow, it's been a little while since just a few days since I've recorded a video. And I'm just so excited and really elated to be here and to be able to present this content for you because I know that it is definitely going to catapult you into your destiny and help you through this transformational process that you're going through. Because millions of you are going through a process of healing, transformation, and also ascension. Because the past few decades for so many of you guys have been absolutely tumultuous for you. And you're left in a place of pondering, like, why have I had to endure these last 10, 20, some of you 30 years that you've been in this process of transformation, and you are on the verge of really throwing in a towel on so many levels when it comes to your dreams, your aspirations, and that's simply because you're running out of fuel. And what do I mean? Well, when it comes to fuel, it's just that sense of that energetic aspect of yourself, the spiritual energy that is needed to not only bring you to a place of restoration and healing and transformation. That's the ultimate goal. But it's really you're at this place of stagnation simply because you haven't healed, you haven't fully gone through your restoration process, you haven't gone through your transformation process. And so you're probably wondering, why am I feeling this kind of stagnation? Why do I feel stuck? Why have the past, decades of my life has been absolutely horrendous? And you're finding yourself in some times where you knew that you were supposed to shift or pivot into the next dimension of your life, but instead you are stuck. And that stagnation is a result of you having gone through the healing process. And because of that, you're on this hamster wheel. If that's the image that I'm getting, is that you're on this hamster wheel and you're just kind of going through the cycle, not only the cycle of the trauma in your mind from your childhood, but the cycle of life, the cycle of the daily grind or the daily activities. Is very difficult for you to break out of that mode, and it's causing a lot of frustration because you have not completely tapped into your true potential. You haven't completely tapped into the highest aspect or the optimum level that you would like to be when it comes to your life. And this is because you refuse to take the necessary shift or change that is needed to get you to the next level or the next dimension of your life. And this can be so restrictive. And that's because you are allowing yourself to be restricted because you're not engaging in this necessary process of healing and transformation. Because once you start to heal, every aspect of your life is going to be transformed. And that includes your relationships, your career, your finances, your financial status. You will see a shift there. And you may not quite be exactly at the level that you would like to be at, but you will start to see more wins in that area. And the more that you heal, the more that you allow your soul to progress, you will see that everything around you will begin to shift as well. And if this is your first time listening to the content, I really want to thank you. I appreciate you for joining in. And this is going to be a journey that I will be taking with you. And I'm very excited to be a part of this journey because I know how isolating and how alone you may feel when you're trying to now shift or pivot into the next dimension of your life. And that can include making some very difficult decisions. That can include making the necessary decisions first in your spirit, making the necessary adjustments in your soul realm. That's your mind, your will, and your emotions. And this all comes with a decision. What are the decisions that you need to make that you are running from and you refuse to allow yourself to kind of go down the rabbit hole of the necessary readjustments, the necessary shifts and changes? What is the blockage there? And this is what we will be dealing with on this channel for REBIRTH-a Gift. So now you can remove those blockages. And I am also sensing that so many of you, millions of you, are already highly successful individuals, meaning that you have the degrees, you have the education, you have the house, you have finances, you have wealth, you have power, you have influence. However, you still find yourself not quite reaching that highest peak. So that means that you have done a lot of work. Excuse me. You have made strides to heal and transform. So that is a definite aspect of the individuals that's going to be drawn to this channel. But also there's another side is going to be those individuals that are in the very beginning of the process of transformation, meaning that you have now awakened to the reality that I have to do more work. I have to now face these challenges, these struggles that I'm having in myself and in my environment, in my relationships, in my career. That it's time now I have to really take this to another level as far as the transformational process, as far as you engaging in this ascension that you are engaging upon. And then there's the last category is you guys that are in the middle. So you have not quite reached the highest peak. You're not quite at the lowest. So meaning that you've already gone through your childhood trauma. You acknowledge it. You did some work to try to heal that. But it's kind of like you're stuck in this middle ground and you have not quite progressed. You're really in the place of a lot of frustration and stagnation. And that's simply because now you're seeking the necessary information, the necessary inspiration that's going to get you past this state of stagnation, past the state of in the middle. It's like you're comfortable, but you're not comfortable. It's as if your spirit is saying, or your soul is speaking to you on a deeper level that is something missing. That's the key word. Something is missing, and this aspect of your life that is missing could be as a result of you have not quite gone to the next level. So some of you are in this middle ground where that thing, that aspect of your life that is missing could be marriage, finding the right person to settle down with. It's kind of like you're tired of the rat race. You're tired of the dating scene. You're ready to settle down. You're ready to move to the next level of your life. And then there are you that you're wanting kids, or you want another child, or you may look into adoption, and you're considering these aspects that's going to bring more color, more dimension, more closure and fulfillment in your life. You're stepped outside of that element of selfishness, and now you're looking to give back. And so that's just a little nugget there to let you know that that could definitely be it. that next shift is to get out of that selfishness that we all go through, where it's like it's all about me. It's like what I need, because you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out this thing called life. So some of you are in that middle where you're yearning for a deeper experience that's going to shift you in ways that is far more rewarding, and also challenge you psychologically, mentally, emotionally, so forth. And so there's 3 categories. So on every video, I try to give you a assignment that you can work on, you can apply in your life right now, that's going to help you to heal, to be restored, to get to the next level of your life. And so in this assignment, I want you to identify what category are you in. Are you in the extremely successful category? Are you in the middle? You're not quite there, but you're comfortable, or you're just beginning this journey. And go back and watch the video, because it will, again, give you more insights, as I explained, just a few minutes ago, where you're at. But I want you to journal, getting your quiet space or your safe place where you can be by yourself. You can think, you can resonate with yourself, you can resonate with your soul state, which is here in your heart, and your spirit state that's here in your belly, because you have become disconnected from both realms of your both dimensions of yourself, which is your soul and your spirit. So when you're in this quiet space or safe place, you're by yourself. It's just you in that place or that space in your home. It could be in your car. It could be when you're on the walk. It could be if you're in the elements in the environment. You love nature. Wherever you identify that place to be. And I want you to do this exercise and think about, reflect, journal. Another way is to really journal your emotions. You can do it as a video, you can do it as writing, but for this assignment, it's all about journaling, getting those emotions from your mind, releasing that and putting it down in paper. So you're just transforming and transferring those emotions that you're feeling. So you're transferring that soul and that spirit state, and you're trying to reconnect to that. And doing these exercises that are very insightful, but also challenge you to think on a deeper level that you have not normally thought about. So that is the assignment for today. And I really want you to take this seriously. And I know that if you are watching these videos, and everything that I do is very strategic and intentional. I'm making these videos an hour long because it's going to force you to now take out time that's an hour of your day, because that's how serious you are. That's how desperate you are for your transformation. So you're going to take out the time. You're going to take out the energy, because you know that you can no longer exist on this level that you're existing on, that you desire change more than anything, because your soul is not allowing you to be at a place of contentment. That's because you have not quite arrived at that predestination place. And let me get my phone out, and we're going to talk about predestination, because this is all going to bring everything full circle for you. So let me look up the definition of predestination. If I can get my phone, let's see here. Give me 1 second. So what is this all about? And I know that you're going through so many different vibrations within yourself, but also you're going through a lot of emotions and feelings. Like, what is this all about? Why do I feel this tug, this gnawing at me that I'm not content? And sometimes that can turn into depression, anger, anxiety, more fear. Why am I sensing this? So, this entire channel, Rebirth-a Gift, is about grounding you, bringing you back to the reality of not only your soul state, also your spirit state, but also your physical state. So, meaning that as your soul state starts to transform, that's your mind, your will, and your emotions, that's what you're thinking. As that starts to transform, then your spirit state will also start to transform. That middle section here. And also that you will feel these elements, meaning and your heart state, or your heart state. Because your heart state, just think about it, when someone breaks your heart, the first thing you feel it in your heart, like it hurts, like someone kind of stabbed you there. So, and it's the same in your spirit. And when something is really not right, the first place you will feel that is in your spirit state, in your belly state. It's just like sometimes you can feel some nausea. You will feel things are just off. You're sensing, you're discerning things in your life that's not quite right. And this is how God, the infinite one, the creator of the heavens and the earth, speaks to humanity. And then as these states are now shifting, and they can shift negatively to the left, or these states can start shifting positively to the right. So what determines this shift? Again, what determines this shift that you're feeling, that you're sensing, that you are resonating with? And you're thinking about it. Because millions of you guys are really just in the mind. It's like you're not getting that rest. That even if you try to sleep, it's like your mind is just still trying to process everything that's going on in all those three states: your spiritual, your soul, and your physical. So, does this have anything to do with predestination? Is there a destined place that you need to get to? That you're not quite reaching the mark, you're not shifting and changing and transforming on the vibration or the dimension that you need to. And as a result, you're left in this lesser state of negativity, of fear, anxiety, depression, loneliness, sadness. So what is keeping you at that state? Why is it so difficult for you to move past that? And one reason that we are addressing is trauma. Trauma in the childhood, trauma in relationships, trauma in societal traumas, multi-generational trauma that goes back generations, great grandma, great grandpa, so forth, then grandma, then mom, then dad, then you. So what is the definition? What is the definition of predestination? So the act of predestinating, the state of being predestinated. Also, another definition is the doctrine that God, in consequence of his foreknowledge of all events, infallibly guides those who are destined for salvation. destined to have a level of existence that is blissful, that is where you are feeling and you're existing in a level of happiness, even when things are going wrong. Where your soul can now have a place of rest and contentment. Also, predestination also resonates with what is your main target? What are you trying to achieve? What do you feel your purpose and your destiny is attached to your salvation? And this is in a very non-religious context, because salvation is definitely a spiritual and a soul experience. But what do you need to save now in your natural humanistic state? Before your transformation, what do you need to change now? What is the thought process that you need to change now? What is the root of the trauma that you need to heal now? That's going to help you to now achieve that predestined state. Because it's all working together for your good. And this is why you're feeling so stuck and a lack of contentment in your life. Even despite you're having everything materialistically. You can have the car, you can have the wife, you can have the children, but you still don't feel, or the career or the business, but you still feel like you're not quite there yet. You haven't reached the mark. And that is because there is a predestined place that you have to get to, that it is time for you to shift to. And the more that you stay in that place of denial of where you are internally, in your spirit, where you are in your soul, where you are in your relationships, where you are in your finances, where you are in your career, in your business. So what is the missing piece here? What is keeping you from getting to that next level? And again, that one true aspect is unhealed trauma. The next one is acknowledging that you need more guidance. You need more spiritual direction. You need that individual in your life that's going to speak transformation. And that's why I want you to stay connected to the channel, because I am speaking transformation. And you will see that it's going to resonate on a deeper level, in a deeper realm, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit. Because we want to just jump from, in a fantasy world, okay, I can do whatever I want, I can be however I want, but I'm still going to get what I want. That's kind of thinking like very childish. That's like thinking like a child that has, or a teenager that just really just is at a state of not really addressing the reality of life. And there's a time where you go through that freedom of expressiveness, that freedom of thought, that freedom not having a responsibility to change. But now, as an adult, there has to be a shift that happens in you that now says that I cannot continue in this manner. I'm not content. First, acknowledging that, acknowledging how you feel, snapping out of this denial state, because it can be so damaging and inhibiting. It can be very limiting to your growth and your acceleration and to your transcendence, to your ascension. Because it's so easy for you, even me, it's so easy to get stuck in this pride state. Pride. Not in a healthy way, but pride is that I know that I need change, but because I've always done it this way, I've always thought this way. Oh, it works for me so far, so I'm just going to continue what has been working. But continuing to be in denial will keep you in this place of stagnation. Denial of what is it that I need to change? What is it that you need to change? Now, not later. Now. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want change and transformation in your life? I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because you can't continue the way that you are. But that is only if you can honestly say that you are content. Are you satisfied, or are you experiencing high levels of denial? Think about it. Are you experiencing just high levels of denial? That now you're hiding behind work. You're hiding behind the kids. You're hiding behind being a wife. You're hiding behind being a husband. You're hiding your true self. You've hidden because you don't want to face the facts of your true state. So we're ripping that mask off, and now we're digging deeper. It's time to take the shift. And you know it is. But you're in denial, because denial causes you to continue to be in fear. On the previous video, I talked about, are you choosing the fear state or the faith state? Are you choosing to go more to the left towards fear, which causes you to continue to do what's not right? Are you going to continue to go to the left, or are you going to make a choice and go to the right? That leans toward faith, that leans towards right, doing what's right. Because in the middle there, you know that there is only discontentment. You're not really happy. You're pretending to be happy. You're not really fulfilled. You're pretending to be fulfilled. You're not really feeling true joy. You're pretending to feel joy. So when are you going to take the shift to say, I'm going to decide today, no longer will I just be passive in this transformation. You're going to make a choice today that even if it hurts me to the core, even if it hurts you to the core, you're going to continue to go to the right. You're going to continue to make faith decisions, not fear decisions that takes you into the opposite direction of your progression. So what are the things that you need to do that's going to lean you more towards faith? What are the things that you need to do that's going to continue to help you in this vital time for shifting? ready for this shift. And I get excited because this is the time where you know that things are changing because you can feel it in the atmosphere. But you have to be an active participant in your transformation. Can you waste another year? Are you tired of wasting time? Are you tired of continuing to be in a diminished state of mind, soul, and spirit in fear? What is that predestined state that your soul is yearning for? Your soul is speaking to you. Your soul is what is connected to God and your higher consciousness. What is that speaking to you? Are you constantly in a state of fear and anxiety and doubt and pain? And long suffering is definitely a virtue. But long suffering is supposed to transform you, not to keep you in a sunken place of the trauma, the complex trauma you went through as a child. It is time to shift from that lower state of demise. You are predestined for something much greater than yourself. There is a video called Greatness. I want you to watch it as many times as you deem fit. But millions of you, anyone who watched this channel, I could confidently sit here and say that you are predestined for something great. But you're missing the mark because you refuse to let go of preconceived notions, preconceived mindsets. You refuse to let go of the pride that's no longer serving you. How long can you continue to exist in this sunken place? And I'm going to shift here a little to the novel because when I think about this sunken place, oh my gosh, as just a person, just as a woman, I've been there. I'm not going to sit here and lie to anyone and say that I got it all together. And I have not been in that sunken place before. This is why I can sit here and confidently and boldly tell you that you can get through it, but you have to do the work. And as I think about the main character, Opal, she was in that sunken place as well. And I was able to exemplify those emotional states that I went through as I, just as a woman, went through my own transformation. And you, as women and as men, millions of you, when you listen to this is your moment in time, in your life, to now shift. Because you have no more time to lose. The creator of the heavens and the earth knows that all things are possible with God. But are you missing the moment? Because you're stuck in fear, denial, anxiety. You're not in your powerful, transformed state. So, Are you going to miss this time? Are you going to miss this time in your life where not only is humanity shifting, but also the earth is shifting? You feel this change, this vibration all around you. It's bigger than what religion you come from. It's bigger than what background you come from. It's bigger than what ethnicity you come from. It's bigger than what economic status you come from or social status. It is bigger than you. So when you think about this shift, are you missing it? And as I was saying before, when I think about the character, when I wrote this novel, this was the most painful experience I've ever went through at this moment in time. So I know, just as on a humanistic level, the power of transformation. That's why I encourage you to read the book. And if you get the book and you don't read it, you're doing yourself an injustice. That means you're giving in on a subconscious level to the fear. You're not allowing yourself to embrace a new paradigm. So I encourage you to read it because you will find levels of transformation you never experienced before. Because this is wisdom. This is understanding that has been imparted not only on a spiritual level, but also a life experiential level. I've experienced this. And as I read the back cover, and I've been working with this back cover because it's so much powerful content, so much power, transformational words in this. And that's why I still to this day, as an author, I'm a wordy person. I know and I understand the power of words. And as you read the novel, I will encourage you, just how I look up definitions and I read definitions out to you, do the same. This is all part of the growth process. If it's a word that instead of feeling intimidated by the novel, it is written to challenge you to growth. So I want you to go and read the definitions. Think about it. And it's going to make so much sense that a lot of times, and I'm going to give you this nugget, sometimes when you read a book and it's very challenging for you on just a different vibration and it's in a different realm, it will automatically make you feel sleepy. And I want to kind of give you a warning there. Push through that. Because what it's doing is challenging your mind, and sometimes your mind can become exhausted because your mind is not quite used to words that's going to challenge your thinking. And it can be exhaustive. Just like if you're in college and you have this new subject that you know it's not your strength. For instance, for me, it was business calculus. This was not my strength at all. And every time I picked up this business calculus book, so much anxiety came, so much frustration, because it's not necessarily my strength. But as I push through, and it's going to be the same for you, don't become intimidated by things that challenges you in a different way. So I want to encourage you to keep your phone near you. If there's a word that you quite not, it's a new word, pull out your dictionary. Because you know that this is very important, because this is always going to help you so much. And this is why I'm stressing these things. I'm not sitting here doing this for my health. I want to see you at your highest peak. God wants you to be at your highest peak, operating at your highest potential, what was imparted into you from the foundations of the world when you were predestined to go to be a part of this journey of not only knowing yourself better, not only healing, but also reconnecting back to God, your soul state, and also your humanistic state. What is your true human authentic self? Do you know who that person is? So let me go here to one thing that as you read this novel, oh, I'm getting so excited about this because I feel y'all shift happening. Woo! Okay, so when you go back to the back cover, you're going to see it's the fourth paragraph. And I just want to point out here is that as you read the novel, you're going to shift, all right? And I'm going to read this section here. It says psychological and spiritual transformation of an empath is an agonizing and healing process. So you're going to find yourself going through a powerful psychological and spiritual transformation. Psychological, your mind, your emotions, your thought process is going to be challenged. Your trauma mind is going to be challenged. Your spiritual transformation is going to be sparked. Woo! Yes! You're going to get excited about this transformation. You're going to feel empowered by this transformation. You're going to be able to shift to the next dimension of your life and your existence. This novel is a tool. It's a weapon. It's a tool and a weapon to get you past this stagnated, diminished soul and spiritual state as you are transformed. As your trauma, the complex trauma is transformed. And I know that I've experienced this, so I know what I'm saying is true. That's why some of you, when you pick up the novel and start reading, I'm going to tell you that it's such on a high vibrating dimension that I want you to push past the opposition that you're going to feel in your minds and your spirits. I want you to push through that. Because your mind, especially your trauma mind, does not want change. That's why you're resisting this shift that your spirit here in your belly, that gnawing feeling, is saying, we're ready, let's go. It's like, come on, let's go, we're ready to shift. But your mind here is like 10 miles behind. Your mind is like, oh my gosh, like, ugh, I can't do it. And you get a lot of sleepiness. You just feel a little lower than you normally. You don't have as much energy. But your spirit is ready. It's like saying, okay, it's time for us to shift. Like, What are you doing? And your mind is behind. And this is why reading is one of the most powerful tools to transform your mind. So if you have not picked up a book in years, I want to challenge you that so many strongholds are going to be broken in your mind as you read it. And I know that on a more spiritual level, what I'm saying is so true because I've been faced with so much opposition. Like one day, I'm just going to share the testimony, but this is not the time to share the story. So what I'm seeing here is 100% true. So when you feel that pushback, that opposition in your mind, just know that that is your mind resisting the change. It's resisting the necessary shifts. But when you ask yourself, it's just how bad do you want it? This is where it comes down to. And I remember talking about man versus self. And you're going to see that so much in the novel as Opal really goes on this journey of fighting within herself. That's the main character. And you're going to resonate with the character because you're going to see that, wow, like I've thought that. I've felt that way. I've never had anyone to really understand that aspect of myself. And even if you are male, read it. Because there's a lot of spiritual content that's going to resonate with you. And it may be challenging at first, but you have to break down those barriers in your mind. That's why I say here on the back cover, the psychological and spiritual transformation is agonizing. It's not easy. It's not easy, y'all. But I am here to help you get through the hiccups, get through the blockages that you're going to definitely feel. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. My purpose is not to sit here and collect your money. I'm going to speak the truth. When you're trying to shift your mind and your spirit, you're going to be faced with opposition on all levels. You might as well get ready for the battle. That's why I said, how bad do you want it? Are you going to continue to stay at a diminished state that you know your potential is much higher because you're not challenging yourselves on levels that you need to be challenged? This is an agonizing process. This process is not for the weak. And millions of you guys are not weak. So I know you're going to push through it. Healing complex trauma is like ripping away at your skin. It's pulling back the layers on a psychological level that you never experienced. So there's a lot of individuals that is sugarcoating for you, and that is why you have not achieved that level, not only spiritually, but in all levels of your life. And I can say this, I've been there, seeking out answers. Until God, the Infinite One, gave me the revelation on how vital healing and transformation is. It's just so long you can regurgitate what you hear, but it's not absolutely, it's not actually being embedded and tearing down the strongholds. And that's just blockages in your thoughts process as a result of trauma, complex trauma. Like, how long can you go in this direction? And this is not about blaming or shaming. We diminish that, we destroy it. This is about elevation, transformation. But to destroy a stronghold in your mind, in your soul, it will come with opposition. And this is why so many of you are stuck, are in a stagnated place in the middle, because you have not really got your boxing gloves on. But internally, you are suffering. You're struggling with the notion of life, with the notion of God, with the notion of doing what's good versus doing what's not, with the notion of doing what's right versus doing what's wrong. This is a spiritual consciousness issue. And you cannot continue on the trajectory of your life. And you know this. You know this. So that's why in this novel, as an author, as a writer, I do not back down from the truth. Because I know in the end, the truth is what breaks the strongholds. The truth is what sets you free, not only within yourself, but within your soul, within your spirit. That's why, as you read the novel, and if you push through the opposition, once you push through the opposition, you're going to see that it's going to wow. You're going to have moments like this, shifts, dimensional shifts. That's just your thought process, your spiritual state. And as those things transform, as you engage in this battle, in this process of shifting your mind, you're going to break free from the stagnations in your mind, from the limitations in your mind, from the limitations that's in your emotions. And sometimes emotional triggers are good if you're not suppressing the feeling of the emotional trigger or reacting in a way that is diminishing to you. Because this whole notion of healing as being a cookie cutter experience is nothing but lies. Once you get through the healing, that's when you kind of fly. It's like going through turbulence when you're flying in a plane. But once you get above it, it's smooth sailing. But as you're going through the healing process, it's going to be a lot of shaking. It's going to be a lot of warfare within, internal struggles. But I want you to stay engaged in the process, because this is what's going to help you to shift to your next dimension. It is time to shift. It is time to shift. It is time to shift. And if I am annoying you, you're right where you need to be. Because now you're seeing that there's something more. It's something more that I'm missing out on. There's something more to my life experience that's getting stolen from you every day, because you're stuck in this fogged cloudy minds of trauma, and everybody that you have gone through just keep regurgitating the same information. But are you actually seeing the shift? Are you feeling the difference? Are you becoming more motivated to engage in the healing process, or are you just feeling like it's a band-aid to the issues? And this is why when I wrote the novel, it's that I wanted it to be triggering, not only to you, and I know this may go against all stuff that you hear. Don't, keep yourself. Don't, no trigger warning. Okay, I understand. I'm not diminishing anyone's experience. But when you keep running from the triggers, like you're backing up, you're allowing that trauma to stay in place. When are you going to now engage in your healing process in a way that is empowering, that's engaging, that is transformative? And no one likes to feel discomfort. It's human nature. No one likes to feel like, oh my God, it's like I gotta go through this again. Who wants to continuously feel that? But when you continuously band-aid an issue that deals with the spirit, that deals with the soul, that's exactly what it does. It backs you into a corner. Because you're just band-aiding the core issues. And that is extremely limiting. And I stress, this is a healing process. This is a healing journey. Nobody's journey is going to be the same. That's why this channel is created. That's why the novel was written. So you can read it, and as you go through the book, as you reflect, as you go through the journaling, as you do the work, as you listen to the content, you're going to now see that, wow, I am shifting. I'm seeing the transformation. And that's because you're putting in the work. And I hate to keep saying this because I've been there. Looking for a quick fix is not fixing the problem. Because you can go to so many therapists, and I'm not against therapy by no means. If that's what you feel you need, keep doing the therapy. But along with that, I want you to now engage, show opposition to what is blocking you. Continue to push forward, not band-aid your problem that you're experiencing on a psychological perspective, in your consciousness, in your spirit. And this is why the words in the novel were intricately crafted in a way to speak to your soul, speak to your mind, your will, and your emotions. And one thing also on the back cover says, despite anguish, suffering, Opal prevails through rejection. So you guys are also feeling a lot of rejection. And this rejection comes from and is rooted in the childhood trauma. But are you going to continue the healing process so that this rejection can be healed and transformed into introspection? Now I'm no longer just being triggered by being rejected. Now I'm being forced to introspect, look deeper within me. analyzing my own or your own mindset, your own mind frame. Anguish of suffering. And I know, oh wow, I don't know why I keep feeling to go here. But the anguish suffering, I think the reason why my spirit is keep pushing me in this direction is because there is a preconceived notion that if you are suffering and you're going through a lot of suffering, that is only because you did something wrong. A lot of times your suffering, when you go through long suffering, is to pivot you, is to shift you, is to awaken you, is to enlighten you. But if you're just numbing yourself out and constantly being distracted, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss the warning signs that's flashing. Hey, boop, 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 boop. It's time to wake up. It's time to address this. And that long suffering can also be turned into where individuals will now take advantage of you. They're just out, and I'm not a person that's against self-help, self-care, personal development. But when your long suffering is not transforming, when you're not learning the lessons, when you're not seeing progression, then that could be also a sign that what you're doing is not working for you. And that can be a stronghold that has been placed in your mind as a result of culture. You're thinking about what friends and family think, what you were taught, traditions. And this is one thing that this novel absolutely deals with. It's a healing journey. And I absolutely just love this book. Not just because I'm the author of it, because how healing and transformational it was for you. And I know that on a higher vibration, this light work, that shining light in a darkened place, is not always accepted. But this is a transformational experience that you will find yourself embarking upon once you engage in the transformational process in a way that not only just band-aids your experiences, but also transforms that. And sometimes we want a 100-page book and it's boring. And you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, I read the book and I've been there. But nothing really just penetrates your soul. You just wasted a day. And even though this may be a little more challenging of a read because it's challenging your psychological state, it's challenging your spiritual state. And I know that this novel is pivotal is simply because there has been so much adversity as a result of writing this novel. And there's some interesting stories, interesting facts, interesting just experiences. As you read, you'll start to notice a parallel in your own life, in your own experience with your trauma. And it will definitely resonate on a deeper, more profound level as you shift out of this state, this sunken, stagnated state that you know you can no longer continue in. And I want to encourage you here is that no matter what adversity comes against you, no matter how much pushback or opposition you feel, you're going to continue on this journey. You're going to continue to pull back the bandage. You're going to stop listening to content that's not challenging you in a way that's forcing you to heal, forcing you to face the fear. Because there is feel-good content, but there's also transformational content. And the transformational content is going to catapult you and challenge you in avenues and ways you never imagined. And that's when you know you're in the right spot, that you're ready to shift, that you are now shifting into that new dimension of yourself and your life. So I'm going to end this here, and I feel encouraged. And I'm so glad that you are engaged in this process. You see how vital this is for your life, for your destiny, for your purpose. That you're not going to back away from this chance to shift into a dimension of yourself, into a dimension on a spiritual level, in a dimension on the external environmental level. You're not going to miss this opportunity to do the work, to heal, despite how painful it may feel right now. But you're going to push through it to now get to that place of ascension where you can now fly. You're soaring. So let's just say a prayer, and that's going to encourage you and motivate you to continue this transformational process. Whew. So, Father God, in the mighty name of Jesus, I thank you. I thank you for this moment. I thank you for everyone that is listening, that has spent this hour, because they are so engaged in this process. By all means necessary, they are determined to shift it during this time, not only for humanity, but for their lives. That they're ready to engage in this battle, in this process that is absolutely necessary for them to get to the next level, to be able to be catapulted into their destinies, so that they can identify and grow in areas in their souls, in their consciousness, in their spirits that they never imagined, because they have been in such a place of blockage, in a place of so much stagnation. And I thank you that you're moving and you're shifting them out of this, that they're going to start to engage with the infinite one, with the gods of the heavens and the earth. They're going to start to engage in this process of healing and restoration in ways they never imagined. They're going to take their life and their transformation to higher heights. They're not going to no longer run in fear, but they're going to find the faith to push through these challenges. Not only in their minds and their emotions and their will, but the challenges of life, the challenges that's happening in the earth. That through this experience, through this elevation, through this ascension process, through this process of reconciliation back to you, Father God, they're going to discover not only their true, most authentic self, but they're going to discover who they are in you, who they were created to be. That they're no longer going to run from their own truth, but they're going to embrace it with a newfound reality, with a newfound ability, with a newfound strength, that they are going to fight They're going to engage in this spiritual battle that's trying to diminish their purpose and their dreams and their aspirations, not only for their lives, but for their children, for the generation, for their community. And I thank you that they are going to continue to shift and pivot and grow and excel. And they're going to stop hiding who they really are and all the great aspects of their self. That despite their past, despite the tribulations in their lives, that they are going to continue to push forward. Because they are predestined. They do have a higher calling. They do have a higher purpose. Despite where they currently are in their journey. And I thank you as your humbled person that you have chosen to be here. I am so humbled that you allowed me to go through my own transformation so I can help others get through the most difficult challenges, the most difficult times in their lives and times of this age, in this generation that's happening in the earth. But as they shift and transform, they will continue this process. They will continue to elevate. They will continue to engage in elements of this transformation that is uncomfortable. And I thank you, Lord God. I thank you for them. And I thank you for what you're doing, how you're transforming their lives. For every woman, every man, every individual that's watching and listening to the content that's written in the novel, that they will experience healing and transformation on a level that they never imagined possible. And I give your name the praise, the glory, and the honor. In Jesus' name, thank you, God. Amen. Woo! Yes! So I'm so excited for you guys. I know that this is going to be a powerful journey. I am so happy that you are engaging in this process. You are elevating. You are excited because this is just the beginning of your new life. This is just the beginning of your rebirth.